It was once the industrial heart at the footstep of Melbourne. From the rag trade to soap factories, they all called Cremorne home. But now major tech firms and edgy startups are transforming those old factories, the historic Nilex clock towering over this thriving community. In the narrow streets of Cremorne, Australian startups are competing on the world stage. Companies are drawn to the precinct's characteristic buildings and close proximity to the city. And while Cremorne's become famous for its hip startup culture, much larger companies are also closing in. In Australia, the largest startup sector is health, accounting for 13%, followed by media and entertainment, enterprise and commerce. They all promise to reshape the future. At a co-working space in the city, Platter is riding the wave of augmented reality.
Hey, I'm Rupert, the founder of Platter.
Hustled around a desk within a co-working space, Platter's team has built its platform from the ground up. Now they work with bigger corporations to enhance the customer experience.
And that's always been the problem in the past. It's always been a little bit gimmicky, or it hasn't been, the user experience hasn't worked, it hasn't been solid. And so that's where at Platter we're really focusing, is helping businesses and organisations to make sure you're actually providing value and utility back to the end user and consumer, versus just doing something gimmicky that doesn't add much value.
Though it's not always an instant success, Australia needs more startup founders to take the plunge. The startup ecosystem has been growing at a rate of 23% a year in Australia, but with limited venture capitalists willing to invest, many startups are stuck with that great idea but no way to develop it.
It's been a hell of a ride. Recently, I guess 2017, we had this tipping point when augmented went mainstream because Apple and Google enabled ARKit and ARCore. So it now means that basically 1.8 billion devices are enabled with this powerful technology. And from that point on, it's become a lot more accessible and easy for consumers to be able to engage and interact with the content.
More than $1.5 billion has been invested across 766 deals, a positive sign, but still nowhere near enough.
The market in Australia as a whole, it's not like we hear over in the States and over in Europe. It's a lot more established. There's not the level of investment and funds for seed and early stage ventures that are available here like there is overseas. So that's another challenge that we've found.
What do you think could make it better here in Australia?
It's a hard one. I think it's just time, and I think it's also more well-established funds from overseas potentially setting up offices here to help fill into that deal flow. And so I think that's something that we're starting to see a little bit more of, but it's still got a long way to run.
There's one thing that startups all want to see, and it's more help from established local businesses.
It'd be really good to see more of those organisations start opening up their purses and investing to startups as well.
And you were able to attract funds from News Corp, I understand.
Yeah, so that's a really good example. They did have the vision and they saw how augmented reality was going to transform their organisation, and so they are using our product. Now it's live. As of today, the Prime Minister is getting augmented through Platter, so it's pretty exciting. So yeah, it's just finding more organisations that have that vision, I guess, like News Corp did.
And as the startup economy grows in Australia, it's hoped more angel investors will find and use their wings.